Hello everyone, my name is Alexia Lopez and today I will be presenting my research proposal which is titled Mental Health Problems in Homeless Youth, a Trauma-Informed Approach. In this presentation, I will discuss the mental health challenges faced by homeless youth and explain how trauma-informed mental health services may help reduce anxiety and depression in this population. To begin, it is important to understand why youth homelessness is considered a major social problem. Homeless youth are one of the most vulnerable populations in the United States. Many young people experience homelessness because of abuse, neglect, family contact, poverty, or simply just aging out of the foster system. Once they become homeless, they often face unsafe living conditions and limited access to healthcare, education, and emotional support. Because of these difficult experiences, many homeless youth struggle with mental health problems such as depression, anxiety, PTSD, as well as substance abuse. Research by Bender and his colleagues in 2021 found that homeless youth experience mental health challenges at a much higher rate than youth with stable housing. Without the support and proper treatment, these mental health issues often continue into adulthood and can affect many areas in these individuals' lives. Now that I have discussed the social problem, I will explain the background and timeline of youth homelessness. Youth homelessness often begins during adolescence or even early adulthood. Many youth have become Many youth leave home because they experience unsafe family environments, abuse, and can even be faced with rejection. Some youth also become homeless after leaving the foster care system without stable support or housing. This means that they may have turned 18 in the system, they don't have family or relatives, friends that they can depend on to move into their house, because once they turn 18, they're no longer able to live with their foster care family. But there are a lot of programs offered to these individuals to basically help them get onto their feet so they are not homeless. Over time, homelessness exposes youth to additional trauma such as violence, hunger, unsafe environments, and can even be social isolation. Farmer and his colleagues explained that homelessness is connected to a larger social problem such as poverty as well as inequality. Without early intervention, many homeless youth continue to experience long-term instability and worsening mental health conditions. Next, I will discuss the client population and the programs connected to this research study. This research focuses on homeless youth who receive services through shelters, outreach programs, the community mental health agencies. These programs may provide emergency shelter, counseling, food assistance, as well as case management services. However, many of these programs only provide short-term support, and they do not offer longer-term mental health treatment. Hudson and his colleagues had also found that homeless youth often struggle to consistently access mental health care because of transportation problems, unstable living conditions, a lack of trust in providers. This research study will examine whether trauma-informed mental health services improve emotional support and mental health outcomes for this population of the homeless youth. Moving forward, I will explain the research question and hypothesis for this study. The research question is, how do trauma-informed mental health services impact anxiety and depression in homeless youth? The hypothesis for this study is that homeless youth who receive trauma-informed care will experience lower levels of anxiety and depression compared to youth who do not receive these types of services. This question is important because Trauma-informed care focuses on understanding trauma and creating a safe, supportive environment for these individuals to begin their healing journeys. After discussing the research question, I will now review previous research studies related to this topic that I have chosen. Research shows that homeless youth experience high rates of trauma, anxiety, depression, substance abuse in some cases. Studies also show that trauma-informed care helps individuals feel safer and more supported while they are receiving treatment. For example, Bender and colleagues found that supportive relationships and trauma-informed services improve engagement in mental health care. However, there are still important gaps in this research. There are limited long-term studies examining how trauma-informed care affects homeless youth over time. There is also limited research that is focused on the diverse populations, such as the LGBTQ community, and as well as the youth of color. Because of these gaps, more research is needed to better understand which services are most effective for homeless youth. I'm sorry. In addition, previous research. This topic also connects to all three levels of social work practice, which is micro, meso, and macro. At the micro level, homeless youth may struggle with anxiety, depression, trauma, substance abuse, as well as emotional distress. Social workers can often provide counseling and crisis intervention at this level. At the meso level, family relationships, school, shelters, community programs all affect youth experiences and access to the services. At the macro level, on a larger social issue such as poverty, lack of affordable housing, discrimination, limited mental health funding, all contributes to the homeless youth population. These levels show that homelessness is not only an individual issue, but it is also a community and policy issue. Now that I have discussed the literature review, I will explain the theoretical framework used in this study. This research uses trauma-informed care theory and ecological systems theory. The trauma-informed care theory explains how traumatic experience affect emotions, behavior, and mental health. This theory focuses on safety, trust, empowerment, and understanding trauma when providing services. Ecological systems theory explains how people are influenced by different systems around them, which could be families, schools, community, and overall society. Together, these theories help explain both the personal experiences of homeless youth and the environmental factors affecting their mental health. Next, I will explain the research methods for this study. This research will use qualitative research design with semi-structured interviews. The participants will be homeless youth receiving services through shelters and outreach programs. Qualitative research was chosen because it allows participants to describe their experiences and emotions based on their own words. This method provides a deeper understanding of personal experiences and trauma. Quantitative research was not selected because numbers alone cannot fully explain emotional experiences. After collecting interview responses, the data will be analyzed using thematic analysis. Thematic analysis will help identify common themes and patterns within the recipient's responses. Possible themes may include trust in providers, reduction in anxiety, emotional support, and barriers accessing care. This method helps researchers better understand the experiences of homeless youth receiving these trauma-informed services. Next, I would like to explain why research is important. This research may improve the understanding of how trauma-informed care supports homeless youth. The findings may help social workers improve mental treatment programs, provide more effective interventions for youth experiencing homelessness. In addition, this research may support policy changes related to affordable housing, youth outreach programs, and mental health funding. Improving these services could reduce long-term homelessness and improve the quality of life for these vulnerable homeless youth. This research also helps improve understanding of human behavior. It shows how trauma and environmental stress affects emotions, coping skills, and overall mental health. In addition, supportive relationships and safe environments are important to help these youth heal and build resilience. Another important part of this topic is culture, diversity, and oppression. Homeless youth come from different backgrounds and often experience discrimination and inequality. For example, LGBTQ youth are more likely to experience homelessness because of family rejection. Youth of color face systematic barriers and discrimination. As future social workers, we must understand how race, gender, and sexual orientation, disability, and poverty can affect mental health and coincide with homelessness. In addition to cultural considerations, ethical issues must be addressed. In conclusion, homeless youth experience significant mental health challenges related to trauma, instability, lack of support. This research focuses on how trauma-informed mental health services may reduce anxiety and depression in homeless youth. The findings may improve social work practice and mental health programs. Thank you for listening to my presentation.